Martin Kunze is on his way to his treasure trove. Located deep in a mountain in Austria, it's a vault of stone and salt. He's given the project the name, The Memory of Mankind.
We're in the Salzburg of Hallstatt, the world's oldest salt mine. We're going to take this old mining train around 500 meters into the mountain.
This group of mountains in Upper Austria is called Herlatz. The region is famous for its rock salt, extracted here for centuries. The old pits and shafts provide ideal protection for Martin Kunze's archive project. The data is inside these boxes of fired clay. But here, data isn't being stored digitally. It's on ceramic tiles, not unlike those you can buy. Kunze burns texts and images into the tiles. What gets stored is selected according to his own criteria.
We've brought another handful of tiles into the mountain and will now put them into this box here. This is part of a locksmith's training journal from the 1950s. Things were done differently back then, which is why I think it's worth preserving.
Besides his own selections, Kunze will also store private texts and images for anyone in exchange for a small fee. Stories about the COVID lockdown, for example. Or the doctoral thesis of a Pakistani antiquities researcher who doesn't want to only rely on digital clouds and servers.
Our internet and information storage isn't as long-lasting as we think. That's one of the reasons why I decided to set up this archive, so that information can be stored for the long term, for future generations, so that they can gain some insight into their own past.
Around 2% of the electricity worldwide is already being consumed to store data. And digital storage systems don't last forever. They could be deleted at any time or become unreadable. On the other hand, Kunze says his tiles are indestructible. And the Vienna native knows what he's talking about. He's a trained ceramic specialist and well versed in these materials. He even developed a special process for burning high-resolution images and texts onto the tiles in his workshop at home. It can take hours or even days.
This white glaze of the tile bonds with the color grains, then it cools. After that, it's a smooth surface. That's why it's so durable.
Whenever a batch of tiles is finished, Martin Kunze heads for the salt mine and Hallstatt. The picturesque location attracts many tourists and has been used as a film location. Visitors from around the world come to Hallstatt, but few know that deep in the mountain above them, a time capsule archive has been growing for a decade, tile by tile. This tile is particularly important to Martin Kunze. It shows how a glacier has melted in just a few decades.
That's a central element of the archive, documenting climate change. Because if we don't safely preserve the raw climate observation data, future generations might not understand that climate change took place, and certainly not to what extent.
The project won't be limited to just tiles. Scientists are working with Martin Kunze on new data storage materials to fit more data on smaller spaces, because there's plenty of demand. Even the University of Vienna has tiles here. The project, Memory of Mankind, is to last forever for everyone.